You like Halo. You like Gears of War. Well, maybe you do. I know I do. But did you know that there are actually other amazing exclusives on the Xbox 360 that are slowly getting lost to time? They aren't all just about shooting dudes either. Today, we're going to take a look at 4 exclusive games for the Xbox 360 that you should scoop up if you ever get the chance. These are all personal favorites of mine, and I implore you to check them out. First up is Project Sylphied. I tried to get the word out about this game years ago, but nobody listened to me, so here I am again. This game is so good. When I was younger, I enjoyed Star Fox 64. You had thrilling sci-fi futuristic shooting and intense arcade-style action that you could just dive into. However, it feels like the series just fell flat on its face after that. I always envisioned what the franchise could have been and what the future could have brought. Give me a game that's just a little bit more in-depth, an exciting story, and something that's just a little less on rails. Project Sylphied is that game, except there are no talking animals. You take on the role of a young pilot, Katana Faraway, who is a member of the elite Sylphied Squadron. The game's story takes you on a journey through a war-torn galaxy as you try to stop an enemy force from destroying everything. There are backstabs, multiple routes based on how well you manage to follow orders, hard choices to make, tragedies, and some killer space battles that range from dogfights to taking out larger craft. This game is just wild at times, and it purposefully sometimes will overload you, knowing that you're not going to be able to do everything, where you feel cornered and screwed. But that's just what's so great about this game, because it really brings you in and really brings out those feelings of desperation as you're trying to shoot down in outer space. I love this game, and I really wish that there was a sequel to it. Second is Lost Odyssey. I should be doing a 2-hour video discussing this game because it is so monumental and just so awesome. Playing this game is like looking into an alternate universe. Final Fantasy 7, 8, I guess, 9, and 10 were headed in a direction where it felt like there was a close spiritual link with each game that was then lost when Hironobu Sakaguchi, a high-ranking designer, writer, and director for the franchise, left Square Enix, with Nobuo Uematsu, who did the music, also leaving at a similar time. Well, these guys are back, and this is the direction that Final Fantasy could have gone in. It feels like it is the alternative universe, where Final Fantasy XI wasn't an MMORPG, but instead this, here on the 360, with a high-quality production behind it. This game feels more like Final Fantasy than any other Final Fantasy game after 10. So the game follows the story of Kaim Argonar, an immortal warrior who has lost his memories and is on a quest to uncover his past while trying to save the world from an ancient evil. This story is good and thought-provoking. I am giving you the tiniest of a taste of what this game is truly about. When people talk about immortality and if they want to live forever, if you've ever been a part of one of these discussions, someone always brings up this idea of how if you were to live forever, you would end up losing all of your loved ones and grow old and miserable all alone. This game basically explores that idea. Kaim, as he pieces his life together, deals with this conundrum where you're meeting characters you once knew, lovers that you once had, descendants that happen to be related to you, and you are seeing the impact you've had on the world when you revisit areas that you haven't been to in a very long time. It is an interesting speculation with great characters, dramatic scenes, and some emotional riveting moments. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy 7 through 10 in particular, this is the game you need to check out. Third up is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. This game is technically on Rare Replay, which you can play on any Xbox console after the Xbox 360, but this still deserves to be talked about. The only reason no one does talk about this game is because it was way too far ahead of its time. With all of the building related games coming out these days, with titles like Minecraft still leading the charge, Nuts and Bolts should have fit right in there. And maybe it would have if it was also a PC release and released a little bit later. Unfortunately, upon its release, people were just looking for another classic platforming game, and so this title was forgotten. The story, we don't really need to worry about that. What Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts does is give you a hub world where you need to collect parts. Also in the hub world are challenges. For these challenges, you need to use the parts that you collect to build vehicles to do various things like win races, move items, and other creative tasks. You are normally either on water, ground, or air. When you're building your vehicles, you need to keep in mind weight to make sure that you aren't going too slow. The amount of creativity in building your vehicles is really cool. If you have ever been a fan of playing with Lego blocks or playing one of the Lego video games, this is something that you should check out. There is a lot of room for creativity here in meeting all of these different challenges. Let me give you an example of something that was really cool. One of the challenges is a simple race on water. The intended way you are supposed to approach this race is to build a craft that is light and fast. But I built a hulking floating vehicle with a large trap on the end. I let my opponent lap me and then scooped him up into the trap and then sprung the cage door, forcing my opponent into his own little hellish prison. I then activated a second mechanism, which detached the cage from my vehicle, and I finished the race on what looked like just a little jet ski with no competition. It was great, and the game is filled with this kind of potential for ingenuity if you decide to take advantage of it. I wish that there was another game like this. Fourth is Naruto Rise of a Ninja. Alright, I'm cheating a little here since I name dropped this in my last video where I laughed at XPlay trashing video games, but this one is really good and is being lost to time and is interesting in multiple ways as you learn more about it. Usually, your anime games are done by Japanese companies. This is one of those rare exceptions where Ubisoft Montreal, known for games like Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia, took the reins and crafted their own unique experience. The result they produced is something that is of exceptionally high quality and welcoming to new fans as well. Naruto is a massive series at this point, though not quite as massive as One Piece, but I can imagine new fans having a really hard time getting into the franchise. For Rise of a Ninja, if you are interested in just a taste but don't necessarily want to commit to watching or reading something, this video game fits that bill. I am extremely nostalgic for especially the beginning of Naruto, and this game brings it alive without going too hardcore with the anime tropes on you. Ubisoft Montreal brings their expertise in providing fluid movement. They have brought the village of Konoha alive with bright and vibrant colors, and all of the classic areas are a blast to explore. The battle system is fun and accessible. The game takes place from the very beginning of the series to the end of the invasion arc. If you like Naruto, you should hunt this down and check it out. If you're open-minded about Naruto, maybe you've never seen it or watched it, or maybe just a little bit, but you're down for a little bit of an anime-esque adventure fighting game, I would still recommend this. You don't need to already be a fan in order to enjoy it. So, everyone, if you have checked out any of these games, or you want to recommend some other Xbox 360 exclusives, if they exist, please let me know in the comments. If you're curious about what I plan to do in the future on this channel for little teasers of upcoming videos, check out my Twitter, @NeverChris. As a little bit of a teaser, right now I'm working on a video. It's probably going to be a long one that will discuss just what the heck is going on with localization in video games and why is it being botched so poorly sometimes. This one should be interesting. It might freak some people out, but if you were following my Twitter, you would know about this already. All right, I'm done selling you guys on that crap for today. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.